Welcome and welcome back to Pero Kama Podcast.
Ooh, ooh.
We are doing our monthly wrap up. We'll discuss, some of our books that we read this month. A book that I made Liz read this month that we'll discuss at the end. All right, so let's get into it. What did you read this month, my dear Elizabeth?
So I read Same Time Next Year, which was just like a little rom-com New Year's book. It was the first one I finished. It's by Tessa Bailey. Basically,
Wait,
they
did I read that?
Did you?
Same
It was on
time
Kindle Unlimited, so maybe.
Is this the lady? She's British, right?
Oh, no.
Okay. The book I'm thinking about is called This Time Next Year. That's why I was like, wait, I read that. It's not. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. So basically it's a hockey town. It's winter. One of the big time, like the biggest hockey guy in the town. He's a really good player, whatever. His sister works at a bar. She's like, no nonsense. And his friend, who's also a player on the team, one of the best, they like make a good duo together. He is about to have to go, his visa is running out, so he has to go back to Canada. So they're like, listen, if you marry him, he could stay on the team and he could go pro and all this stuff. And then, from there, it's a rom-com.
Does she marry him?
She does, but it's like an arrangement. Like they don't go on dates. They only meet to like talk about what they need. They already know each other. So they,
Yeah.
So they only meet to like talk about the questions that are going to be asked and all that stuff. But there's always been like some type of chemistry there.
Right.
And it was cute.
Okay.
I liked it. It was cute.
Okay. I like it. I can deal with that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It got me interested in hockey. Alana says the hockey guys are where it's at.
Oh, jeez. All right. And then what else did you read?
Then I read Credence. Okay. Here are my thoughts on it. It's
Go ahead and expose yourself, Liz. It's fine. I still love you.
I thought there was going to be a lot more of the incest thing, right? Than there was.
Okay.
It wasn't it was very well written. Like when I finished the book, I was like, okay, it was a good book. Will I go back and read it again? No. There's not even a probably. I won't. But it was I did end up enjoying like the way she played everything out. And certain ends, the way they closed up, I really enjoyed. Not enjoyed it. I really liked it, the way she did it.
Okay.
It is definitely the WTF factor.
Yeah.
But it was, once you get past that, it's good. For the people that are not okay with that. Yeah. But so that was my second book.
Okay.
And then my third book was by a Florida author. It was this book.
Ooh, Silver Spells.
It was super cute.
Okay.
Super cute. It's the first book in one of her series. The main character is in her 40s.
Oh, I like it.
And she gets her magic powers, which it talked to my heart because till this day, every year on my birthday, I'm like, this is the year. This is the year that, I just took a little bit longer to bloom.
Right.
So this, gave me hope. But it was really, really cute. I'm excited to read the other ones. It's by Kate Mosman.
Okay.
I think I'm pronouncing it right, and it's signed, y'all. It's signed. signed. Look. Wait, no. It's signed.
Oh, that's so dope. I don't have any signed copies.
Yeah.
That's what we were supposed to do for Holly Black.
I know.
Who knew you had to buy tickets? Did y'all know you had to buy tickets to go to a book signing?
I from what I'm seeing, when they're really popular, I think, just because of the room. But I saw two other events that they were selling tickets, and it was something that was like, really, tickets for that?
Right.
But
Well, now we know for next time.
yes.
Because, golly.
Yes. And then what other book? Okay. I'm going to save the next book that I read for the end because we're going to talk about it. But the other book that I read, holy caca. It's a psychological thriller. It's called The Housemaid by Frida McFadden. But great read. Great read. Yeah.
5 stars.
I put my notes thinking I figured it out. Did not figure it out. It was really good, really good. And there's another book that's already released in the series, and then the third book in the series comes out in June. So I'm super excited.
Oh, your
But
birthday.
she basically, it's this girl who was in prison. She was and when she was 17, she went to prison, and she gets out 10 years later. She's on parole, so she has to have a place to live and a job. And she's trying to find another one because she got fired from the bar that she was at. And the parole officer doesn't know. She applies for a housekeeper for a maid job, and she's like, I don't think I'm going to get it because they're paying a lot. They're going to do a background check. They're going to see it. But regardless of whatever, she goes to the interview with Nina Winchester, who is the wife. The house is gorgeous, immaculate, all this stuff. She tells her, well, all I'm going to need you to do is some light cleaning, and then, some cleaning and light cooking and all this stuff. She's like, okay. She doesn't think she's going to get it. A week later, she cuts a call, got the job. She gets there. The wife is batshit crazy.
Okay.
Shit's going on. And it's just not what I didn't figure it out. So the twists.
Multiple.
Yeah, they got me, and I loved it. So it was really good for a psychological thriller. If you
I
want
have
one,
heard a lot about it. It was all over Book Talk, Bookstagram, BookTube, everything last year, and I was like,
really,
I'm reading that.
It was just on Kindle Unlimited. I was just looking for something
Really?
not fantasy related
Yeah.
before Crescent City.
Yeah.
And it was on Kindle Unlimited, one of the top ones, and I was like, okay.
I got
It was
you.
good.
Any 5-star reads?
That one, and I think I don't remember. I don't know if I gave my Dark Romeo 5 stars, but that's my other read of January. We're gonna talk about that.
Yeah. I didn't get any 5-star reads this month. I read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 books this month. Right? Right. So the first 2 books I read were Heir of Fire and Queen of Shadows, which is Sarah J. Maas's books from Throne of Glass, because I was trying to catch up. And then I was fantasied out. I was like, I can't. I'm enjoying the books. Don't get me wrong. I'm done.
You need to come back to Earth.
Yeah. So then the next book I read was that. Where is my camera? That. The 7-Year Slip. By Ashley Poston. She's the one that wrote the book you liked so much last
year. Dead Romantics.
Yeah. I didn't like it. And when I say I didn't like it, that doesn't mean that it was like a 2-star read. It was like 3.5 stars. It was well written. It was like a magical book. Okay. So she lives in an apartment that her aunt gave to her. And her aunt told her growing up, this apartment is magical. it time travels. It'll either take you 7 years in the past or 7 years in the future. She was like, it never tells you when, it doesn't explain why, but it always does it when you need it. And she grew up thinking it was real until she became an adult. She was like, my aunt is batshit crazy. Until one day she went home and she was teleported 7 years in the past, and it goes from there.
I think I would like that. But I think she just writes with that type of fun stuff.
Okay.
Because the Dead Romantics,
Mm-hmm.
she grew up in a funeral home, and her family, her dad sees ghosts, and so can she. So it's like, I
Okay.
think that's just her niche.
Okay.
Right? Did I say that right?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. So, you said you wanted no fantasy. She snuck
Yeah.
that in there.
Right. I was like, no. And then I read A Court of Silver Flames, which is Nesta's book from A Court of
Thoughts,
Flames.
please.
Um,
Because it only took you how long?
a day.
Owning the book?
That's fine. I owned it for 2 years. I owned it for 2 years. And it literally took me a day to read it.
Mm.
I don't know why it took me so long. I know why it took me so long. I was like, I don't want to read about Nesta, little bitch ass.
I mean, but how do you feel about her now?
And then I was like, okay. Because she's not as bad as people make her seem. As let me rephrase that. As the fandom makes it seem, she's really not that bad. I've seen worse written characters.
And she was brought up to be that way. Like
right.
her mom taught her to be that way.
Right.
That's
And I liked it because it honestly made me look at Cassian differently. Because for me, when people talk about the Bat Boys, which is Reese, Cassian, and Azriel, and they were like Cassian, and I'm like, he's dumb. He doesn't even say stuff. Like, why do you like him? Like, I just felt like he was a meathead to me. In this book, I feel like you actually got to know him. So I'm like, oh, I see it now.
What's funny is that in the audiobooks, there's a narrator that did the first 2 books or 3 or whatever, and then another one takes over. Both of them, when it comes to Cassian's voice, it's just like, I didn't like it. So it's funny that you say that. I enjoyed Cassian in the other books. I thought he was like funny, but yes, I never took him as seriously as I learned to in that one.
Right.
Yeah.
And then the next 3 books I read after that, this were bam, bam, bam. So I finished A Court of Silver Flames on the 11th. On the 12th, I end up reading 2 books. And then on the 13th, I read the next book. It was 3 books in one series called From the Hood with Love.
I thought you were going to recommend one of those to me.
I ate that up. I ate it up.
You sent me My Dark Romeo.
Listen.
Not that I'm complaining.
My Dark Romeo was a surprise. I was so, you remember when I called you, I was like, Liz, I feel like you have to read this. I'm so But yeah, I read From the Hood with Love, my hood novels. I love me some good hood novels. This was outrageous and outlandish, and it hit every single thing that I needed. It was so dramatic. And then they get to ride off in the sunset. It was great. I loved it. And then I read My Dark Romeo, which we'll discuss later. And then I read Saving Sunflower, which is a part of the Sun series. This is actually the first book. I didn't realize. Okay, so it's a series.
Okay.
But I didn't read it in order. I read the Ed Game, which I told you about, which has Josiah, which he's on my book bay list. Yeah. So I like it because it's a series, but they're all standalone. So if you read them out of order, they mention other characters from other books, but you don't have to necessarily read the book to understand or follow. Yeah. So I read this one called Saving Sunflower, which is actually the very first book in the series. And he fine. He about to get added to this. His name is Doe. Like pizza.
Like dough, like dough, a deer. Or no, I didn't even say that right, but that.
Yeah, pizza dough.
Oh,
Dough, like money. Dough.
see, you say that. I'm like the dough, like the Pillsbury dough. You're like money.
Yeah. So dough. His government name is Dominic. So he's in competition with Dorian because I'm sitting here like, oh no, Dorian, dog. Oh no, dog.
Is he a
Somebody coming
bleeding
through.
heart like Dorian though?
He is
Because
for his
that's your
woman.
thing.
He is for his woman.
Hmm.
I know. I know. And then the last book I read this month was called Mercer, which is book 4 of a series. Again, these are all standalone books, so you don't have to read them in order. But it's about 4 brothers. So he's just the last book in that series. I didn't
Okay.
care for that book. It's a hood novel. I'm not gonna go back and read the others. I don't. My thing is, I don't like insta love. It bothers me. Like
I like the insta attraction.
that I
But
can
I
do
gotta
with.
have, like I told you before, the banter
Yeah,
or like the I like that.
yeah.
That's
Insta love
that
thing, like
building.
they met, and it was like, oh my god, he is fine. Like, first of all, he broke into your house. Let's start with that.
We're not even
Right. He broke into
only
your house,
because
and then she's like, oh my god, he's fine. Girl, he broke in your house. You talk about he's fine.
I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that because with this haunting Adeline crap,
Yeah, yeah.
I'm talking about like he stalks her like outside of the window watching. I can't, my anxiety. Anyways. Mm.
So then, yeah, so they're attracted to one another, and then they do the do. Right. Yeah, I'm gonna spill this one because I'm not going back.
Brown chicken, brown cow.
Right. They do the do, and then they don't talk for like a month. And he's like, I know when someone is conflicted, you can come find me when you're ready. And the whole month he's just thinking about her and she's thinking about him, and they see each other again and it's like, oh my god, I love you so much. And I'm like, I don't understand how you got here. I need more.
Maybe it was just that good.
I ain't never. So no. And then going back to the 25th, I read My Dark Romeo, which I told you about, which we're now going to discuss. Yeah.
My Dark Romeo.
Where should we begin?
Okay. First of all, I have never met 2 people who can be as petty as these 2.
I aspire to their pettiness. Like
And I'm petty. I am petty. But these, oh,
yeah. Yeah. Dallas and what's his name? Romeo. Dallas and Romeo. I love his friend group. I love that they have a group chat
God.
going. I love that they never call her Dallas. It's, hey, how's Denver? Hey, how's Davenport? Hey, how's Damascus?
Anything but Dallas. Anything but Dallas.
Oh my god, you guys are the worst. And then, so just an overview of the story, y'all. It's a forced marriage. Yeah.
Yes.
Forced marriage.
One-sided.
Yeah. Because Dallas grew up in a community in the South in Georgia. Grew up in Georgia. You save yourself until marriage and you marry
Chapel
up,
Falls.
essentially. Yeah.
Everybody in this city is that way. Like you're
right.
bred.
High society.
Yep. You're bred as a woman to be untouchable until marriage.
Correct.
But the girls are okay with this. So it's not something that, they're okay with it.
And they're used to a certain lifestyle.
They aspire to fulfill this.
Right. And then so Romeo comes in because his nemesis is Dallas's fiance. What's his name?
Madison.
Madison. Punk name anyway. Um,
I was like, I've never met a male Madison.
right.
So, okay.
So Madison is bragging about how he has this girl he's going to marry, and he's like, "Well, you messed up my business, so I'm going to take your wife." And that's what he
And the
does.
way he does it.
That's what he does.
The way
But
he does
she
it,
gives
bro.
him hell for it because she's just like, look, she just wants to be a mom. She don't care about anything else. She's like, look, I already know my marriage isn't going to be great. I'm not worried about having love.
But she did not want to marry Romeo.
Yeah, she did not want to marry him. And yeah. And
It's like Petty LaBelle meets Petty Pendergrass. And they get together.
Yes. And she gives him hell.
And he gives her hell too. I have
And I'm
never.
sure that's what the attraction came from.
When Colette told me, she was like, because I told her, I like the banter.
Mm-hmm.
And I like the possessiveness. Like, that is my man. That is my woman. Like, she called me and you need to read this. I have never met someone who is so rude that I like. And I was like, what? This man.
Yeah.
His dialogue with himself when it comes to her.
Even when he's thinking about stuff, like when he went to go get the book and he was like, yeah, it's midnight. I know it's the series that she wants. I'm going to go get the book. I've been standing here for 17 months now. I don't know why it's been so long. I'm like, you just got there. Like, what? Like, what?
And then when she asked if she could bring a book.
Yeah.
And he thought to himself, I wanted to say no, but then if I said no, she would sit there and talk to me. So I said yes. I'm like,
yeah. And then she brought what we thought was Anna Karenina. I don't know if anyone's ever read that. It's a Russian.
I haven't read it.
I read it, and I watched a movie. I like both. You know, sidebar. Apparently, I really like the classics, but you know,
I have not read many classics.
But I realize now a lot of those movies and shows that I like, they're very much time period pieces.
I enjoy those though.
Yeah.
So maybe I should dabble in the. I mean, I've read like stuff like Edgar Allan, but like all his work.
He is depressing. You know what?
Stop.
That tracks, Liz.
Stop. Don't do that.
No come for him. That tracks. But yeah. So she takes out Anna Karenina and they get into it. So he makes her sit in between his legs and read the book because she's just obnoxious while on the flight.
I love it. I aspire to be her.
And she's reading her book and he's looking down and he's behind her and he looks and he said, I don't remember that kind of smut being in Anna Karenina. And he takes the book and he realizes she takes the dust jacket off of the book. So it looks like she's reading something. But she's actually reading something. I'm like, oh, this girl right here.
The book was hilarious. I have not laughed out loud with a book as much as I did with that book in a bit. It was hilarious. Hilarious. I would read it again.
Yeah.
Just to laugh. And they have a part 2 coming out.
Yes, in March.
Yeah, it's not I don't think it's a continuance of their story. I think it's going to be the sister and one of the friends. Remember, Oliver's constantly trying to get the sister's number because he loves how Dallas is with all
Yeah.
the shit Dallas puts Romeo through. Like his friends enjoy it.
Yes.
They even went to the house party.
Yes. I was like, Oliver, you are. And he's
He's
like,
looking
you
at the
don't tell
camera.
me. And then he's like, you don't tell me that she's having a party. You're my friend. He was like, well, to be honest, I didn't know she was having a party. She just said, come to the house. So I came to the house.
And then he saw Zach.
Yeah. And she invited all of his friends from his shit list to the party.
His do not contact list. And he's watching on his camera.
Yeah.
Everybody just pull up.
Yeah. He's like, what the hell?
Oh
And
man,
then
that
like
was a good book.
yeah, he's petty too. Like she pissed him off. He turned off the internet, took all the books out the house,
All the credit cards, all the good
all the
food.
good food,
Oh,
all the
because she loves food.
yeah, she
She
loves food.
loves food.
He took everything off, cut off the credit cards, and be like, "What you gonna do now?"
He said, I canceled, even put, I canceled Xfinity.
Yeah, yeah, it was a really good book. I gave it a 4 out of 5.
I don't remember what I gave it, but that's how do you rate your books on how you enjoy them or how they're written?
Both,
Yeah, me too.
but it's mostly the feeling.
Yes, I was gonna say if I enjoy it, it could be written poorly. If I laughed and enjoyed the book, and then that automatically to me gives you like 1 star extra.
Yeah, I gave it a 4. I think. Well, Goodreads doesn't do point
Half.
system. Yeah, so I think on Storygraph I gave it a 4.5, but on Goodreads I gave it 4 stars. I enjoyed it. It was a
I
really
did
good
too.
read because it was like, what the hell? And it's like, you can't do anything but laugh. It was
I
really
did too. I was like, my cousin was here for the weekend,
good.
and I'm like, oh my god, listen to what they just did.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Yes, it was. I enjoyed it a lot.
So let us know. Have you read any of these books that we mentioned?
What did you read in January, and what was your favorite
Yeah.
and your least favorite, or whatever?
Come check us out. We have templates for that you can use on Instagram if you want to use those. Let us know.
Yes.
It'd be good. But thank you so much for watching. As always, like, share, subscribe.
Yes.
On Instagram. All the things. All right, and we will see you all later. And
yes. Bye, guys. Thanks.